The bonuses tonight. Fight of the night, Rosa and Rodriguez. The performances of the night, Williams and Werdum, they all got $50,000. Congratulations. Whoever has the first question, raise your hand. They will bring Kevin Iole. I don't need these, right?
No, you don't. I just was curious what you thought of Werdum and kind of the transition he's made. You know, he got knocked out, I think, in the first round by Sagano a while back.
Right.
And since then, he's run off like 10 out of 11, I think it is. You know, you comment on that and also just his performance against Cain.
Yeah, with submissions over, Cain Velasquez and Fedor and a lot of other people, knocking out Mark Hunt. He looked unbelievable. And I think, he came into this fight with a great game plan. He went up into higher elevation than Mexico City. Mexico City is a tough, people think Denver, Colorado is a tough place to fight. This is a tough place to fight. I think we broke the record tonight for guys puking in the back. Like 6 guys threw up after their fights. This altitude kills you here. And, Cain's been off for 2 years. And the first 2 rounds of that fight are 2 of the sickest heavyweight rounds you will ever see in this type of altitude. These guys were just squared up and were blasting each other. It was a great fight. Werdum looked good, and I think Werdum came in with a great game plan.
And I guess my other question for you, Dane, is, he's 37 years old. He's kind of turned his career around later than most guys do. Did you see this coming? Like, when you let him go after the Sagano fight, did you see this day ever coming?
You never know. You never know, how a guy is going to look at Dos Anjos and how far he's come since he first started. You never know when guys are going to, turn that corner and become as great as Werdum looked tonight and all the things he's accomplished in the last couple of years.
Dan, what did you think of Cain's performance? Obviously it was a really long layoff for him. Did you think he looked like the same guy, or did you see some ring rust?
Well, you're definitely. There's been guys who've proven me wrong with my ring rust theory, but 99.9% of the time, layoff of almost 2 years, you're going to have ring rust. And a layoff and come into this type of altitude, it's tough, man. It's tough. Cain is well known for his cardio. That's like his thing. But you're going to have rust. He still looked good. I mean, Jesus Christ. The guy was standing toe-to-toe for the first 2 rounds, and they were just blasting each other. Then he started chopping Verdum's leg, and Werdum really did a good job of conserving his energy, not moving around too much, standing still, and ended up out cardioing the cardio king.
For you is Gastelum's situation. What do you think about him trying to cut back?
Well, I love this kid. He's such a great fighter. I love how first of all, he goes in with a kid like Marquardt and stands right in the pocket with him and exchanges. His stand-up looked great tonight, but I don't believe he can make 170. I honestly don't believe he can make 170. He's done nothing to prove that he can make 170 pounds. And when he doesn't make 170 pounds, A, it's dangerous, and B, it screws a lot of things up around here. He's going to have to get serious and get a nutritionist. He did nothing to show in this fight here that he had to cut to make 85, and he came in right on the nose. So I am the furthest from confident that he is capable of making 170. No matter how much I like him or how much he says he can do it, I don't believe it.
Oh, just to be clear, does that mean that
that means
you
no?
Will allow him?
That means no. What in that statement made you think that I'm on the fence?
Part about the nutritionist, that's where I got confused.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a nutritionist. He's going to have to
just
get
for
serious.
185 you're talking about, though.
Huh?
Just for 185 he'll need
No,
to
for
fight.
170.
Okay.
I mean, he made 185. He still had to cut. He made 185, and he looked great at 185. He looked healthy. He didn't look like he was going to die at the weigh-ins, and he fought great tonight. So if you're me or anybody who even remotely cares about the kid, where would you want him to fight? At 185. I get it. He wants to be at 170, but he's going to have to do something to get to 170, and just training and whatever he's been doing isn't cutting it.
And then, Kelvin, I guess if I could just get your thoughts on that. Just make it clear once again why you think 170 is the right place for you, and how much confidence do you have in your ability to potentially get down there in the future?
Right. Well, like you said, I haven't done anything to prove it, but, actions speak louder than words. So now that he said that I just need to prove it, I'm going to prove it. So that's fine.
And he's proven he can make it, but he looks like he's about to die when he makes it. and he's got to go back and try one more time. You know what I mean? To come back and make the weight. It's not healthy. It's not good for him, and it's definitely not good for us.
And I had one question for Cejudo along those actual same lines with the weight cut. I wasn't going to bring it up, but then you sort of brought it up with the bad taco that you had. And, you know, without getting into too many details, you know, what was that weight cut like for you? What was the difficulty of it? And why do you think you were able to make it this time?
Right. No, I actually came in about under. I came out championship weight 125, but actually, the reason why I keep so low is because I believe in this food poisoning. So if you guys notice me at Wings, I was pale white. And it was difficult for me, but I still pulled it through. And that's why, you know, normally when I fight, I move my head, I have good motion. I slug it out pretty much. So I'm not proud of my performance, but I did what I could.
Then over here in the back. With Fabricio Werdum, you open up a lot of possibilities. I mean, he could fight Junior Dos Santos, he could fight Andrei Arlovsky. Those are fights that he had, that he lost. You wouldn't have to do an immediate rematch. Would you like to open the door to another possibility, gain another fight, or would you be interested in an immediate
Stipe is in there too.
Yes, Stipe too.
You know, two of them are here tonight, and they're all over me. They both want that fight. It obviously makes the heavyweight division very interesting. There's a lot of different options, and you know, I don't ever talk about it tonight. We'll go back, we'll sit down, we'll talk about it, and we'll figure out what's next. And I mean, the heavyweight division is very exciting right now, and you know, Cain's going to come back like a madman, so it's going to be fun.
And if I can get your thoughts on Yair, one of his coaches tweeted a picture of you talking to Yair after the fight. What did you think of the fight?
I think that kid is awesome. I think he's a superstar in the making. He does not have a lot of experience yet, and he's only going to get better. I was blown away by his performance tonight. You know, he looked unbelievable. He reminded me a lot of Showtime Pettis, and then Joe Rogan was saying he looked like a cross between John Bones Jones and Pettis, which is a very good one too. He looked unbelievable.
Y para Yair, pues, pelea de la noche, avanzaste muchísimo de lo que vimos ante Chico Morales a lo que vimos ahora. Sabemos que estás pues encerrado, entrenando todo el tiempo con Israel Martínez, pues no solo entrenando lucha, pero también aprendiendo a mejorar tu inglés, cuidando tu imagen, cuidando tus acciones. ¿Qué se siente al ver todo este trabajo recompensado en una gran pelea?
These were remunerated and that they took very well about you. Well, I'm going to say this in Spanish and later I'll go into English. I'm very happy, really. I'm very excited about the work that the coaches have done with me so far. I live with Easy, those that don't know, in the city of Chicago. He's my trainer, he's my mentor, and he's always pending. He's always pending about my training, about my diet, and about my personal life also. That's something I thank them enormously, and I'm very, very happy to be able to represent Mexico this way, and that the bosses are very happy with me because of the work I've done so far. And I just hope to be able to continue doing so, and I'm going to continue working hard. And this doesn't stop here. It's just starting, and we're going to go on.
I'm just going to say thank you for saying the things with me. I think I have my own style. I don't have like my own best style. I have my own style. That's Jair, the biggest style. And I'm going to keep it good like that, like original style. And I just want to say thank you to all my family, to all of you guys to come here. I'm so proud of my coaches because they teach me a lot, and I'm so happy to do my progress. And this fight is very good.
I just one last quick question to Efrain, to Efi. Efi, el primer peleador nacido
The first fighter born in Mexico, being in UFC. This is the third opportunity. You not only lead to victories, but you are fighting for the first time in Mexico, and you came out victorious. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say it in Spanish first and then in English. Fighting here in Mexico, for me, it's something incredible. It's something that we were dreaming about in 2010. We came to do some press conferences, interviews, and we had a great time. And we are very happy. And we are very happy in the year 2000. I wanted to fight in the 180, but I didn't have a chance because I was hurt, I was injured. And now being able to come here and being able to move was something incredible for me. I really thank my team, I think MMA Lab, that has helped me, and I'm very, very happy.
First off, I want to thank everybody. I wanted to fight at UFC 180, but you know I had just had surgery, so I wasn't able to have the opportunity to fight. But you know, coming out today and putting the performance that I did, I had a lot of fun, and you know now just looking forward to the next one.
Dana?
Yes.
Just couple of questions here. What are your thoughts of the crowd? Because I think this was one of the toughest crowds that we ever seen.
No, you're wrong. It was an educated crowd. You know how happy that makes me to be in Mexico City, Mexico, and then when a guy steps over and gets side control, they cheer. And when they were booing, they deserved to boo. I didn't fucking disagree with one boo that happened tonight. When they were booing, they deserved to be booed. And I thought it was a very educated crowd, a huge moment for us, huge moment for me because I've been waiting for so long to get into Mexico. And then when the main event started, this place, there was not, when this thing sold out, when you talk about a sellout, there's a lot of times when we'll sell out an arena and there'll be some single seats left because you don't sell. There wasn't one single seat left in this arena. This thing completely sold out. And when the main event, I don't know if any of you looked around, packed to the rafters, everybody had their lights on. It was awesome, man. It wasn't a tough crowd. It was an educated crowd. Amazing.
And we just saw that Irene Aldana and Alexa Grasso was in the crowd. Irene is fighting on July. Alexa told us that maybe she's fighting on September.
Yeah, they're back there, too. They're here right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all know that you're going to sign them one day. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah, what am I waiting for? I'm excited, and they both want to win titles and then come here. That's what they want. I'm actually doing what they want. They want to wait. They want to win this title and then come here. So, yeah. And another thing about Mexico City, this is one of those places, man, you march into Mexico City and you fight, you better fight your ass off. Some of the baddest fights that have ever happened with some of the baddest dudes in the history of the world have happened in this city right here. So these people know they're fighting. And when you come down to Mexico, Mexicans have boxing gloves running through their veins. This is a boxing country. And tonight, like I said, for me to be here and see such a sold-out, educated crowd was absolutely incredible. It was awesome.
I'm going to speak in Spanish. 2 questions for Dana and one for Yair. Dana, talking about the Mexico City's height, and you spoke about the many boos and people deserved it. And in numbers, what is the rating you would give this event, to the whole event? What is the rating would you give it? And the second question is, if you are already thinking about something for Mexico in 2016, are you thinking about something?
Yeah, I mean, this event was awesome. I mean, it depends on what scale. Yeah, was it the fights? Was it the crowd? Was it the historical moment for the UFC here tonight? So if you take everything and throw it in, tonight was an 8 for us. It was an absolute 8, and I think it was really good educated. Like I said, Werdum had a great game plan coming in. He knew what was going to happen. He fought here before. He went into higher altitude than Mexico City because he knew what he was facing, and 40 days, and this was a good education, for other fighters, because this isn't going to be our last show in Mexico City. You better prepare when you come into this town, because this is no fucking joke, man. This is a hard place to fight. What was your other? Was that it? Did I answer all your questions?
Respecto al 2016, respecto al próximo año.
Yeah. Jamie, when are we coming back here again? November 21st, we'll be in Monterrey.
Para Yair,
For Yair, we saw the fight. You had a lot of opportunities to overcome your rivals. You didn't want to kill them completely. You didn't want to go to the floor to get rid of him. What was the strategy? Why did you do it? The strategy was managed keeping the fight up. And I didn't feel insecure about my floor. I didn't feel insecure about my jiu-jitsu. However, I just feel more comfortable fighting up, fighting standing. That is my strength. And having the fight standing, Charles is very difficult. He's very tough, and I respect him for that. And it was difficult to maintain the fight. It took me. He did throw me on the floor, and I showed him that the floor. He thought he was gonna submit in the first round, and I almost submitted him. He said that I let him leave. He's good, and he was doing his work as he should.
Werdum, vou perguntar em português.
Una pregunta en portugués. Voy a preguntar en portugués.
Primeiro eu quero saber, no momento que você entrou no octógono, né, você tomou um knockdown logo no primeiro round. Como que isso te afetou e como é que você conseguiu manter, né, o ritmo até o final da luta?
Ella me preguntó cuando empezó la
He asked me
pelea
when
que
the
me
fight
dieron un
started
knockdown,
that I had a knockdown, that he hit me
por
really
ese tema
well.
de estar en 40 días antes, yo
I was
sentí el
40
impacto,
days here,
pero
I
no me mareaba, no
felt
estaba
the impact, and I
mareado
was
como
not dizzy,
pasó
as
otras
it
veces,
happened to
¿no?
me
Me
in
sentí
other
de golpe.
occasions that I felt
Entonces yo vi
blow.
que ahí empezó a cansarse, ¿no? Entonces ahí
I started getting hurt, and I thought it's a very good moment because the guillotine I did was at his lock. The choke, I've done it many times, and he was going to fall in my floor with a single or a double, so I hit him when he was
Você
tired.
pode falar um pouquinho também como é que foi a sensação que você disse pra gente que você ia vencer essa luta hoje, que você daria revanche pra ele e que seria uma revanche em Las Vegas. Eu queria que você falasse um pouquinho de tudo que você visualizou e como foi que as coisas aconteceram hoje.
Espanhol?
O que você quiser.
Português? Não. Português, né? Vou responder para ti. Não, eu visualizei essa luta muitas vezes, faz 2 anos que eu estou preparando por isso. Fiquei realmente aqui, estou com muita saudade da minha família, eu sabia que ia ser muito gratificante poder ficar aqui. Todo o meu time aqui em MMA, todo o Babalu, o Rafael Cordeiro, o meu irmão, o Orlando, toda a minha equipe, até o Lucas na parte da representação também foi muito importante. Eu achei toda essa energia que a gente estava com uma energia muito forte. Então eu visualizei, não é aquela coisa de, eu não acredito que eu ganhei. Não, eu acredito sim, sempre potência, claro que eu acredito, porque eu acreditei nesse momento para poder ganhar.
Spanish.
Sorry, we didn't prepare for Portuguese.
No, you want English, Portuguese, Spanish, or Japanese.
What'd you say?
I just say I prepared my mind for about 2 years. No, it's like 2 or 3 months before. I believe myself, and my team believe myself too. I just believe this moment. I visualize this moment a lot of times. I got in the guillotine because I trained before this moment. I know Cain Velasquez go like a single or double leg. I just waiting for the moment. Good English.
Perfect English.
That's I promise. Eu só queria que você falasse também essa questão de você sempre ser o azarão. Você entrou no octógono sendo o azarão, ninguém acreditava que você levaria esse cinturão e mais uma vez você provou às pessoas que você podia ser o campeão.
When she asked me, I'm a very underdog. All the time I'm underdog. When I'm the underdog, I believe more, I give more motivation for me, more motivation when I'm underdog. And I just show inside the cage, I asked him again, I stay 40 days here, I don't see my family for days. Tomorrow I go to Cancun, you want to pay for me? I go to Cancun just 1 week, just 7 days, it's very cheap. And I go tomorrow with my family, I want to see my family, that's it.
Who's got the next question?
Question for Cain. Cain, what was going through your mind when the fight was done? You know, and if you could say something was wrong, like this, do you think that 2 weeks was enough to prepare?
Nothing was wrong. You know, Fabricio was a better guy tonight. That's it. You know, once the fight ended, yeah, you know, I've been in this position before where I've lost, and that's how I felt. otra vez era una cosa que pues
Next time, Fabricio was the best this evening, and that is all. And when I lost, it's because I was in this position. I've been before in the position of losing, and I felt that at that moment he was better than I was.
En español, una pregunta para Cain
In
Velasquez.
Spanish, a question for
Cain,
Cain.
¿sientes que
Cain,
fue
do you
adecuada
feel
tu preparación
your preparation
para
was
este combate?
proper for this fight?
Dicen que en algún
Fabricio
momento
says that
que
at some point
estabas
he
cansado,
noticed that you were
quizás después del
tired,
segundo
maybe
round.
after the second
¿Fue
round.
adecuada tu
Was your
preparación?
preparation proper for this fight?
yo estaba aquí
I was here 2 weeks before the fight, and I think I should have been here longer. I felt it, but the truth is that Fabricio was the best this evening, and that is all. He fought well, he had a very good technique, he was very relaxed, and he fought really well.
I was here two full fight, that wasn't enough. Again, no excuses. Fabricio was a better guy tonight. He followed great technique, very relaxed. So he was just a better guy tonight.
Fabricio aquí atrás.
For Fabricio, here in the back, please. Fabricio, we said 3 years of hard work since you got back to the UFC, of not losing, of fighting different things every fight. We saw a very enhanced striking against Brown, something you used today. You used your jab, you never got out of Cain's distance, you always got in. How does it feel to see rewarded the fight that you wanted for the last 3 years already with the belt? The best moment in my life is today, being the best in the world. And Cain Velasquez, we know Cain Velasquez is a great warrior. He hit me so badly. You've seen that he hit me really bad. But as I said, I was so prepared with my mind, my body. I felt the blow, but I did not get dizzy. So I feel very good. I was very happy to be the best in the world. Yes. Then I have this belt. I have another one at home. A lot of people said that it was not real, that it was a fake. And let me tell you, I think the two are truth. And a last question, you had victory, submission against Minotauro Nogueira, submissions against Cain Velasquez. You don't want to see to the future, but do you understand the place you have in history of the mixed martial arts? Yes, I know, because I've always believed in myself, and I always had the best team in the world. Because all alone you're going to do this, and I have a team, I train a lot. If I'm going to tell my story, when I got to the United States a long time, I didn't fight like a year and a half in another country, I didn't have any money. Knowing that I got here, this is the best thing I can feel, because I can only want to thank my family, the team, the fans, all the fans, because they were with Cain, because this is a sport, others can choose.
Entonces no estoy enfadado con nadie, me abuchearon, pero el mismo que me abucheó puede hacer una foto conmigo que no me va a importar. Entonces solo quisiera agradecer a toda Latinoamérica, claro que Brasil es mi país, ¿no? Que estuvieron todos conmigo, y a Cain Velasquez por aceptar esa pelea conmigo y hacer una guerra. Esa pelea seguramente va a quedar en la historia.
This is a battle, a fight that's going to stay Fabricio again. Fabricio, here. A question for Fabricio here in the back. Fabricio, I wanted to ask you into the future. What are you expecting? Who would you like to fight against or revenge against Cain? I'm retiring tonight. I'm just joking. No, it's a truth. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. The cry over Argentina.
No, en el futuro, que si Cain, claro, ahora lo vamos a recuperar, tengo algunas lesiones en el cuerpo seguramente, hacer una guerra, pero yo creo no puedo elegir con quién voy a pelear. Yo nunca elegí en mi vida, no, se pusieron a este y yo peleé. Yo creo que lo mejor, porque Cain Velasquez es un gran guerrero, es un gran campeón de hace muchos años, ha demostrado esto. Yo creo que a lo mejor en el futuro ahora nos estamos jugando una revancha en Las Vegas, estaría muy bien, seguramente en Las Vegas. Yo peleé todos desde aquí en México, un par que en Las Vegas, en Brasil, mi ciudad, me encantaría, ¿no? Pero yo creo que una revancha como esa que hubo hoy, estaría muy bien en Las Vegas.
Is going to be great in Vegas. And a question for Cain. Cain, were you surprised by Fabricio's behavior today? No, not really. And I know what he does. I know how he fights. This was another reason. He fights really well all the time, and he fought really well, and he won.
He didn't surprise me. I've seen this fight before. I know he fights very good. Tonight he fought very good. He won tonight, so.
Cain, can you talk what impact, if any, not having fought in almost 600 days had on you tonight?
No impact, just Fabricio was better tonight. That's it. There's no
impact this evening. Only Fabricio was the best fighter this evening, and that's all.
And just from the technical aspect, Cain, you didn't want to go to the ground for the first couple of rounds, obviously because of his jiu-jitsu. What does that take away from your game? Because your ground and pound seems to be a very big factor in your game. When you can't do that, how does that limit you offensively?
We did not want to go to the ground with him. We knew that if we fought everywhere, we would have to do that. We're not one-sided anymore. We go to the ground and we fight there. I was ready to do that. Going for that double leg, he caught my neck. I had my hand way on the outside. Again, that was my fault. So again, you live and you learn.
This fight all the time, you're waiting to fight in the floor, and with this fight the same. We are mixed martial arts, and we're used to we have to be good in everything. If I fight against Fabricio, I knew that we had to fight on the floor too, and I knew when I took the leg, my head went out, and it was a good technique for him, and that's it.
Fabricio, is this win for you, you don't have to hear but when you beat Mark Hunt, people didn't really consider, some people didn't consider you the true champion. And so do you consider this a bigger win than that? And secondly, what about the win over Faber? Comparing this to that, that was the win that kind of turned your career around. And now this win, maybe the two greatest heavyweights ever, people thought Cain and Faber, you beat them both.
Yes, for sure when I fought versus Fedor, in 2010, it's like an amazing fight. Nobody believed myself again. And this moment today is the best moment of my life because the best in the world in UFC, the heavyweight. I'm very, very happy.
Fabricio, this is the second time that you win in Mexico. This is the second time you win in Mexico. First were different conditions. The audience was supporting you. This time they didn't. I knew it was going to be so. I knew that it was quite polemic. Cain got angry at me because I was like the Mexican contender last night. But I said, Cain, I never said I insulted him. I never booed him. I just said that he was Mexican, but he did represent Mexico really well. I always said that parents are Mexican, and that's it. But like that and more, so people can see the fight, not because I wanted to have a friendship, but because I wanted people to see the show that we showed this evening. So it means a lot to me to be in this new market in Latin America, not only in Mexico, but Brazil and Latin America is growing, and for sure we're going to have a lot of good talent here.
For Tisha, please. Obviously a dominating victory for you tonight, but the crowd did get a little restless at times. What did you think of your performance overall?
For sure, it wasn't the most exciting performance. Unfortunately, in the first round, I really did feel that altitude. Like you said, 2 weeks wasn't enough. Given the opportunity to fight here again, I'd be here well over 2 weeks. I was happy that I was able to demonstrate that I can wrestle, and hopefully my next fight I'll be able to put everything together and bring back the Italian tornado style point fighting that I love.
Is there a fight to you that makes sense? Obviously, with it being a relatively new division, contenders are still kind of lining up. Is there something that you see that makes sense to get you? Because I saw that you said afterwards, you'd like to fight for the title after that, so I'm sure you're hoping it's an number one contender fight.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good enough performance to deserve a title shot. I've always said that I would need 2 more fights to deserve to be 7-0. I think that would be best. But if a title shot did come, I'd take it. But yeah, I really do think I need another fight before that and to bring everything together and just to bring back the Italian tornado and hopefully it's stateside where I'm used to fighting. But it was an honor to fight here in Mexico, and I'm sorry it wasn't that much exciting, but a win's a win, and I'm going ahead from here.
Thanks, Tisha. A quick follow-up for Henry, if I could. A lot of people are looking at this fight to determine, are you ready for a title shot? They think you can do it. I know that you said whatever comes, but what do you think? With the performance tonight, was that worthy of a title shot?
No, not tonight, for sure. I think I'm better than that. I love to mix up my feet, knees. I didn't throw any of that. I pretty much just boxed. That's all I did. Stay in the pocket, because the more I would move, the more I would kind of feel fatigued. So, I don't know, talk to Dana and the team. Well, that was Dana. But we'll see. Esta es la pregunta que me preguntó, dijo que si...
The person that asked me, he said to me if I deserve.
Y creo que ahorita me falta un poquito. Ahora, de verdad que no es una excusa, porque si me han visto pelear, peleo con todo lo que tengo. Y ahora como que no me salió mucho. A lo mejor fue por la enfermedad y la ruptura un poquito que me sentí medio mal. A hablar con el presidente Dana White y a ver qué quieren para que reciba.
Two more questions, please.
Who's got the next question? We're here. Both for Jamie and for Kelvin y Efraín. Para Jamie y para Kelvin y Efraín, ¿cómo se sintieron de ganar aquí? Y es un hecho que van a pelear en Monterrey, van a esperar los dos hasta la final de Ultimate Fighter en Monterrey.
Translator didn't translate anything. So.
I was asking you if it is a fact that they are both fighting in Mexico and if they are waiting to fight in Monterrey, not having another fight in November.
Sure. I mean, with the timing, it's going to work out, especially with them both being coaches of the Ultimate Fighter Latin America, the second season. That's going to air August 26th and go right up to the finale on November 21st. But obviously, that's a Joe and Dana question, so it's going to make sense, but it's going to obviously be up to them.
Y lo mismo para Kelvin y para Efraín, ¿cómo se sintieron de ganar aquí y qué seguridad les da para llegar a esa pelea en Monterrey si sucede?
Sí, obviamente muy contento de pelear aquí otra vez de nuevo y repetir otra vez un buen espectáculo aquí en la Ciudad de México. Y el plan es pelear otra vez en noviembre en Monterrey, sí, sin duda.
Para mí fue algo increíble. Es mi primera vez peleando aquí en México dentro de esta organización. Estoy muy contento de poder venir a entrar a esta pelea. Nada me pasó en esta pelea, yo voy para atrás al gimnasio el lunes en la mañana a entrenar, prepararme para lo que venga, ayudar a mis compañeros y esperar a que empiece el programa del Ultimate Fighter. Y después de ahí, si viene noviembre, con mucho gusto, yo y Calvin vamos y peleamos otra vez en México. Como les dije, no tengo nada lesionado, no tengo nada me pasó. Yo estoy listo para lo que venga.
Finalmente nada más, Kelvin, ¿pudiste hablar con Dana después de la pelea? ¿Han tocado el tema de regresar a 170?
Pues acaba de decir, pues no, ahorita me acaba de decir que no tiene ningún plan de darme otra oportunidad, pero pues más lo único que tengo que hacer es enseñarle que sí puedo hacer los 170 libras y pues tengo hasta noviembre para tratar de convencerlo, ¿no? Quiero pelear en el peso welter en Monterrey contra alguien en el top 5, pues verdad, como digo, tengo hasta noviembre para enseñarle que sí puedo hacer la categoría de 170.